Reggie Miller, the Hall of Famer, joining us on the program. Reggie, of course, trying to keep it a secret from his son, who's a diehard Steph Curry fan, that Reggie was oh, look who Reg has. He's got... Did you know your dad said the Boston Celtics were going to win the NBA championship instead of your Golden State Warriors?
Yes.
You did know that. You finally told him, Reg?
I had to tell him. I had to break the news to him, and he looked at me crazy. So, and when they won last night, go ahead and finish.
I was very happy.
And what did you say to me? I told you.
I told you the Warriors would win.
See? You shouldn't have to make your bed or clean your room for a week because Uncle Danny said you don't have to clean your room. I don't even know if you have to eat vegetables or go to school. I think that's only fair. You know what? Why don't you take your dad's car out for a ride too? I think you should be able to do that as well. What do you think?
You want to take the car out for a ride?
I don't know.
Well, congratulations on Golden State winning the championship there. Reg, when did you know you were in trouble in this series with your Boston Celtics?
I felt I was in trouble after Game 5. For them to get that huge victory at home when Steph struggled and other guys like Andrew Wiggins, which a lot of people, I think Coach Van Gundy and Mark were kind of talking about this on the telecast last night. But what Wiggins did throughout this series and his defense on Jason Tatum, who looked like a world beater coming into this final series against KD and against Giannis and against Uncle Jimmy Butler, Tatum was fantastic. And he was a non-factor in this series. And a lot of that has to do with the individual defense of Andrew Wiggins.
Yeah, I think that was underrated. I think we looked at him offensively and rebounding, and we didn't factor in the defense there. I just thought, and we've talked about this before, we were trying to push Jason Tatum into stardom, like he was going to go into that elite fraternity. I just didn't think that he was there yet. Doesn't mean he doesn't get there, but it just felt like he was regressing in the finals. How much is that due to him and due to Golden State?
I think it's a combination of both, but I'll disagree with you a little bit because I think he's in that conversation. I think his body of work, he has proven that over time. What he did against KD in 4 games was phenomenal, and especially what he did against Giannis, a former finals MVP and a world champion. You can't discredit that or discount that. I just think, a lot of people, and I think you mentioned this earlier, they don't give the Golden State Warriors enough credit defensively because when we think of Golden State, we think of threes and, those guys and their antics. We forget how solid Mark Jackson originally and now Steve Kerr with the Warriors, what they've done defensively during this championship run. It's just been phenomenal. And before you go on, I got to give him a hug. He's headed to science camp. Give me a hug. I know. Don't rub it in. Okay, I love you. Say bye, Mr. Patrick.
Bye, Mr. Patrick.
See you, buddy. Yeah,
love you.
He knows more basketball than his dad does.
I know. So sad. It's sad. It's really sad.
Okay, did Steph Curry, by winning the title and winning the MVP, now move into the top 10 all time?
I felt that he was. We had this. Remember 2 weeks ago?
I know.
You talked about someone coming out, and
yes,
I felt he was knocking on the door. He has certainly kicked down the door. Okay, I'll give you my top 10.
All right, go ahead.
Again, it's not fair because it's different eras, it's different rules. But this is just my top 10,
right.
My personal feeling, and this is by no means in any order. I'm just throwing out names.
All right.
Magic, Michael, Steph, Bill Russell, LeBron, Kareem, Kobe, Tim Duncan, Shaq, and Larry Legend. Okay. Those would be my 10. Is that 10? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's my top 10.
So no Oscar, no Jerry.
On the fringe, Hakeem, Oscar. I thought about Giannis, but he needs 2 more championships. But Giannis, certainly, if he wins 2 more championships, someone's going to have to come off this list.
You don't have Wilt in there.
Don't have Wilt. Wilt has 2 championships. Shaq, to me, as dominant as both players were, I would go with Shaq over Will.
Okay. So Hakeem is on the outside. Oscar's on the outside. Jerry West is on the outside.
Yes, Jerry West, only that one championship. Larry Legend, 3, and 3 finals MVP, or
Two finals
two
MVP.
finals MVP, but 3-time league MVP.
Yeah.
Tim Duncan, that's easy. Kobe, I think, is easy. Kareem, I think, is easy. LeBron, I think, is easy. Bill Russell, I think, is easy. Stephen, I think, is easy. Obviously, Jordan and Magic. To me, that's an easy 10.
You know, we had the Lakers coach Darvin Ham on yesterday, and I said, all right, game on the line. I'll give you Ray Allen, who you played with. I'll give you Steph Curry. I'll give you Kobe. And I'll give you Larry Bird. You know who he picked? Game on the line.
For a shot, or you need that game to win everything?
A shot.
For 48 minutes,
a three-pointer to win the game.
A three-pointer to win. And it's Ray, Steph, Larry Legend, and who was the fourth?
Kobe.
Darvin Ham probably went with Stephen Curry, Kobe Bryant, Larry Legend.
Yes. And I apologize that I didn't include you in that group.
Former teammate of mine. I'm surprised Darvin Ham didn't.
I know. He should have said, I got a write-in ballot here. I'm going to put Reggie Miller in there. Steph didn't need the finals MVP.
He didn't.
It felt like the media needed him to have that. I don't think Steph went, boy, my career has got this large void in there, because I would have given it to him in 2015 instead of Iguodala.
He should have won. And what's funny is, I don't know which one of my Danettes brought up, Steph kind of gets looked upon or frowned upon because KD joined the team.
Yeah.
I almost think it's kind of the other way around now, right?
Yeah.
Because until KD wins a championship, people will look at him like, well, you had to join a 72-win team to get 2 championships, and possibly would have been 3 if he never would have gotten hurt. Correct?
I think it's a compliment to Steph that KD wanted to join that team.
Not only a compliment to Stephen, but the Warriors organization to be able to lure the best player at the time away from one of its competitors. Remember, this is the same Oklahoma City team that had those Warriors 72-win team down, 3-1 and lost?
Yeah.
And then lured him away to come play with us to win 2 more. So let's give a credit to Bob Myers and upper management, along with the players, obviously Draymond and Clay and Stephen. They had to be willing to, bring on the best player like a Kevin Durant. But let's give them a lot of credit for selling, hey, we have something special building here, and you could be a part of that.
Best 6'4" and under player of all time. I'm guessing you're going to say Steph because he's in the top 10 and everybody else is at least 6'6".
I think, first of all, it's a short list, right? So I guess you would put Isaiah.
No pun intended. No pun intended there.
No pun intended.
All right.
I guess you would put Isaiah in there. You would put Allen Iverson in there. Obviously, Stephen. Jason Kidd, Gary Payton. I believe they were 6'4" or below, correct?
Yeah.
Stockton. So this is our list. Oscar.
No, he was 6'5".
Oscar's 6'5". Okay.
Jerry West was 6'2", 6'3". So Steph is 1. Steph is the best. Dwayne Wade, 6'4".
Is Dwayne Wade only 6'4"?
I thought he was taller, but I think he's listed at 6'4".
I think he's 6'5".
Oh, so he doesn't make it. Why do you guys lie about your height?
Don't we all? Because everyone wants to be taller.
No, Bill Walton, who has to be at least 7'2", was listed at 6'11".
He's 7'2".
And he said he thought 7-footers were viewed as freaks. And so Bill would say he's 6'11". And I'd see him next to Robert Parrish, who's 7'1", and he'd be taller than him by a couple of inches.
Think about the source coming from a Grateful Dead fanatic. That's his thinking. That's his logic. Love you, Bill, but come on. He was 7'2".
What advice, we're talking to Reggie Miller, what advice would you give Jason Tatum this offseason?
I would say understand and relish in the disappointment of that series versus Golden State. It's painful. I've been there. But at 23, 24, the future is bright. And to me, his star is only going to ascend and rise. And if he can take that pain of how that felt and use it to his advantage, I think the Celtics have something special brewing there.
But his game, though, Reg, that's what concerns me. It's sloppy.
But at 23, 24, there's a lot of – we said the same thing about Giannis, too.
Yeah, but Giannis has gotten better every single year, and he was a project. Tatum was a skilled guy who came out of Duke.
And I think he can only get better.
But he doesn't he doesn't make good decisions with the ball. I would love to see him, when the shot is not, connecting from three-point range, do what all the great players eventually did. They went down on the block. Right?
And put his head down and got into the paint and got fouled and got to the free throw line.
Yeah.
Look, that's something that can be learned, right? And that's through film work and that's through experience. I'm not worried about Jason Tatum. Look, I know it's disappointing because we were ready to anoint him, and I get it, but you can't discredit what he did throughout this postseason against some of the all-time greats in our game, and Kevin Durant and Giannis and Jimmy Butler. You can't discredit that. He was a Eastern Conference Finals MVP. Yeah. All right, and we're taking 6 games and throwing everything else out the window. What about all those other games that matter? Those game 7s when they were down 3-2, when it was facing elimination, and how big he came up. Let's not throw him under the bus quite yet. I think there's room for growth for Tatum.
Okay, but I look at the Celtics, and I don't like Marcus Smart as my point guard. I like him in the lineup. I like what he does, but handicap this Celtic team as they move forward. What do they need to add?
Very fair. Well, number one, they got a healthy Robert Williams back.
Yeah.
I think he is huge for what Ime Udoka and the Celtics want to do going forward. What he does defensively and how he patrols the paint and covers up everyone's mistakes. If he's healthy, maybe this is a different series, but we can talk about that later. And you're right. They've got to find a Rondo, former Celtic, type point guard, a real point guard that can direct and understand and take the temperature of what's going on and assess what needs to be done out there on the floor. I love Marcus Smart, and I love what he brings to any team, especially the Celtics. I mean, he's Defensive Player of the Year. You've got to have guys like him and Grant Williams and Robert Williams on your team to win championships. Guys that you don't have to run a single play for, but they can be impactful at both ends of the floor, and that's what Marcus Smart brings. Is he my starting point guard? No, but they need a real type point guard.
The window for the Warriors to win another championship or 2 or 3 is what?
Well, they've got a lot of decisions to make this season. I think Kevon Looney is up. I think Jordan Poole, his rookie deal is up. So are they going to re-sign him and open up the bank to him? Andrew Wiggins is up. You've got Jonathan Kuminga, who might have played 10 minutes this whole final series. He's on deck, but can he do what, Andrew Wiggins did? So they've got some decisions to make, and that's going to be, Bob Myers, you're working off a championship now, but you've got some key pieces and some hard decisions with 3 guys that are taking a bulk of the salary in Clay, Steph, and Draymond. God bless them. If they want to win another championship, do they bring everyone back, which I don't think they're going to be able to do? Kevon Looney has certainly earned a big payday. Will it be with the Warriors? That remains to be seen.
We had Chris Mannix on last hour, and Mannix said, what are some storylines to keep an eye on over the summer? And he said, if Portland strikes out in free agency, then look at what's going to happen with Dame time. Also, Bradley Beal. Does Bradley Beal want to stay in Washington? DeAndre Ayton, does he stay in Phoenix? Rudy Gobert. It feels like there's a couple of possible moving parts here that could change, the complexion of a roster here coming up over the summer.
The names you mentioned, how could this change some of these playoff teams that we just saw? What would you think if Bradley Beal teamed up with Jimmy Butler in Miami? What would you think of the Brooklyn Nets if Rudy Gobert joined that team? I mean, think about it. What if Damian Lillard finds a way to get to Boston? That changes these teams. And Chris Mattis is right. If some of these big name guys, and if their organizations decides, look, we need a fresh look, it's time to move on.
Yeah.
I mean,
I hate
Bradley Beal and Jimmy Butler. That would be fun to watch.
But I always feel like Damian Lillard is going to end up with the Knicks, and I hate thinking about that.
I think he'll be in the same predicament he was in Portland, if that's the case. I know.
But I keep thinking, oh, God, he's just going to get more publicity, but he's not going to get, results here. He's going to be doing his Modelo beer commercial, but he'll be playing for the Knicks. He'll be drinking while he's playing because he's playing for the Knicks here, Reg.
Yeah. Look, the Knicks need a point guard bad, and they need a name point guard, and Damian Lillard certainly is at the top of the list. But I think he might even be worse off, truthfully, if he joined the Knicks versus staying with Portland.
Yeah, because I don't know what Ayton does. It feels like Phoenix doesn't want to offer him the max and that he'll end up someplace else. And he's a nice player. Rudy Gobert, if you gave the Nets a rim protector, I mean, that's pretty formidable. If Boston would add a player like that, Miami would add Bradley Beal. I don't know. Bradley Beal, I think, said he wanted to be sort of a Dirk Nowitzki, and he's going to stay with the Washington Wizards, but
I applaud that. Nothing wrong with that. I applaud that. Hopefully they can build around them. I'm just saying if there is rumblings of him, if management is like, look, we need to turn the page.
And you always get April and May off if you play for the Wizards, so that's good.
Oh, come on.
Wait, too soon?
Too soon.
I'm better than that. I am. I'm better than that. I'm doing better than that. Thanks again. Always great to have you, your contributions, your opinions, your love, your enthusiasm. So have a great summer. Any big plans for the fam?
It's bike season now for us. So I got a lot of races coming up, and I appreciate always coming on here NBA playoff time. We have fun. We're very opinionated. You know how much I love my Danettes.
Yeah.
And next season, what's funny is we're gonna win our Emmy. I really do believe that. Next season is our season, and from then on, we're going to be like a dynasty. We're going to be like the Warriors. We're going to win 4 Emmys in a row. Theodore. Yeah.
I think we might be like, Dirk Nowitzki. It might be just a one and done.
One and done?
But I'll take that.
I'll take it. All right.
Because I'm winning for you and the Pacers. Like I'm winning for everybody. I mean, that's a lot to ask for us to make up for all the disappointment you provided the Pacer fans.
Great. You're going to make me feel even worse, right? Go ahead.
Wait, that's
me in the back. Me in the back.
My bad. I shouldn't have ended it that way.
Great.
You are the best shooting bicyclist in the world.
Okay. See, that's my claim to fame now.
Yeah. There's nobody, unless Steph Curry starts riding a bike.
Well, Clay does ride a bike. Uh-oh.
You're a better shooter than Clay, aren't you?
Stop it.
Okay.
Stop.
Not my bad.
Stop it.
But you are. But you are.
But, I mean.
Yeah. Yeah, you are. Thank you.
Congratulations,
Thank
Clay.
You, Thank
4,
you.
baby.
Yeah.
4.
Yeah.
Steph, 4. Draymond, 4. Andre, 4. Congratulations, Dubs.
Thank you, Reg.